Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the difference between creating high value content and low value content, and why focusing on low value content is sabotaging your content creation efforts. So let's just dive in. Chances are you've probably seen low value content appear in your feed, and it doesn't really provide a lot of meaningful value to you. So we'll be covering some of the common characteristics in each of them. So when it comes to low value content, there's like some clickbait feel to it. It comes with some sensational or like misleading title to lure you in. But once you watch the video or click through to the article, you come to find that the content really just failed to deliver on its promised value. And it could leave you feeling frustrated or disappointed. You probably have experienced this. You don't want to iterate this type of experience for your audience. Low value content also is it falls flat. It doesn't have a lot of depth or substance to it. And it may feel really brief or lacks the detail that, it needs or isn't really sufficiently researched. And after consuming it, you kind of feel like it lacks the valuable insights or useful information that you came to try and find. There also is it's like content that's created without a clear purpose. It can feel kind of random or noisy, and it has no call to action that guides you through what to do next towards a specific goal. And, whether it's solving a problem, providing information that, whether it's encouraging or an action, you want to be able to guide your audience through the information and give them a clear call to action. So you want to make sure that there's a clear purpose in the content you're creating. The other thing is that low value content is also poorly researched. What you might find is that, it doesn't have the proper research. It cites unreliable sources. It can feel sort of that it's unreliable and contains inaccuracies or outdated information. And just remember, good research can really help you build trust with your audience, and that's something you want to aim for. Low value content also has misleading or unsubstantiated claims. It makes these bold claims without providing credible evidence. You want to make sure that your audience is likely to trust the information that you are presenting to them. And so backing all that up is really helpful. The other thing is that low value content also practices keyword stuffing, which, low value content that excessively or unnaturally repeats keywords, can be a really spammy SEO practice, but it's all with the attempt to manipulate search engine rankings. And so this practice can make the content difficult to read and really diminish its quality. Low value content might also be too promotional. So one thing is that, you want to be able to promote your products or services while offering genuine value or insights. But you also want to be mindful that, your audience might lose trust and you might not appear objective if you're doing too much of this. It can really get in the way of appearing genuine and sharing you're actually having insights to share about something you're promoting. And then low value content can also be repetitive or irrelevant. Things that content that rehashes information that's not really relevant to your audience. It can confuse them. It doesn't offer unique value or insights. Those are all characteristics of low value content. Moving into high value content, something to consider here is that it really engages your audience. It captures and holds your audience's attention, and, it leads to better engagement, more interactions, more conversions. Engaged audiences are more likely to interact with your content, share it, and return for more information. So you want to just be able to build that trust over time. You want to become a person that, builds loyal followers and that, establishes and builds that trust over time. So those are some of the characteristics of high value content. High value content also establishes your authority and credibility. So, producing valuable content can allow your brand to be seen as an authority in your industry or niche. It can really also it can attract the attention of influencers, industry experts, or authoritative websites. And it can really lead to maybe more partnerships, guest posting opportunities, mentions, and it can further expand your content's reach and your authority. So that's something that's really great. The other thing that's really great with high value content is the SEO benefits. So search engines like Google prioritize high value content in their rankings. And so if they see that you create valuable, well-structured content that provides answers to common questions and solves problems, that's really good. You're likely to rank higher in search results as a result of that. And then also think about the time and resources, because creating content can be really time intensive, from researching, writing, and all of that. And when you produce high value content, even when you produce fewer but high value quality pieces of content, you can better manage your resources. Like, think about the longevity of the content. Because it's so well researched, it can really expand the lifespan of the content that you're creating, and it can remain relevant to your audience for an extended period of time, which means you don't have to keep going back and churning out a bunch of content, because you have a lot of good high value content you've created. The other thing is with your brand is that, it can create a brand consistency with your brand reputation. You become known as someone who builds trust and loyalty. It can also lead to the conversions, but by delivering this consistent value, your brand is known as somebody who has like an authority and a trusted source in that industry or in that space. And also with trust and loyalty, high value content also makes it easier for your audience to understand and connect with your brand. And so you're likely to create these loyal followers and customers and advocates for you that will be there with your brand over time and become repeat customers. And then you also get to cut through the noise. When it comes to high value content, providing that context can help you really stand out in a digital landscape that is really saturated. And you can also stand out in your niche by producing less content, but content that is really valuable and unique to your audience. So yeah, those are some of the characteristics of high value content, the pros and cons. And something I want to emphasize is that creating less content is actually a good thing. In content marketing, less is more. But high value content is everything. You want to focus on quality in everything that you do. And by investing in high value, valuable content, you can really build an engaged audience, a loyal audience, and advocates for your brand. So something for you to think about when you're thinking about churning out a ton of content for your channels. And then, another thing is that with low value content, it can create just more harm than good. So it's good to aim on the high value content spectrum. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and also leave me a comment. Let me know what you found most valuable in this topic, and let me know if there's something that you'd like me to cover in a future video. Until then, keep creating, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.